the most important thing that you can remember is come with one question and an open mind, understanding that even when sometimes you think you know the answer, it can be surprising how the answer will come out. I've had people that have said, well, wait a minute. I've had 5 or 6 different readings from people and none of them came out with that answer. Well, that is what I take pride in. I take pride in the fact that my answers are not always going to, sometimes what I call in a crude way, blow smoke up your butt. I'm going to tell you what I see. And I'm going to tell you in a way that's compassionate, not in a shocking way. I never read on your demise or your death or terminal illness. What I read on are the dynamics of your life that come through and in a way that you can relate to, in what I call my Midwest meat and potato uh, logical way. But make no doubts about it, I am definitely reading intuitively, empathically, and also with extreme intuitive connection with my tarot cards, which I have been reading for 3 decades, over 37 years. I want to say hi to Joseph today. Joseph is usually my co-host, and he is out today giving trick-or-treat candy to the kids, and he is probably enjoying every moment of it dressed up in something that is cool. So what exactly is it about psychic readings that can sometimes make you mad or sometimes give you that powerful healing? Well, first of all, if you are a reader or if you are experimenting in reading, please understand that you need to read for the people that you know in your family or even sometimes for yourself for at least a year or a year and a half. The reason that you want to do this is because accuracy has to be consistent. You have to know with confidence that what you are seeing and feeling is registering with the people that you are reading for. You do not want to start going out there cold turkey at a party or at definitely not the phone line companies where they will be brutal with you. They will leave bad feedback if you are not consistently accurate. I want to also give you the formula today for giving that reading, because remember, when you are at a party or on a leading psychic line, people come to you because they have a pressing concern. They have something that is very, very important to them. They want to ask you what your thoughts are, whether it is to confirm what they are feeling or whether it is just to see what you see and think. So the first thing that you want to do, and this is what I call a name energy reading. Everybody reads differently, but I would lay out 3 cards or 5 cards to pick up what I see energetically in their emotions or in their spiritual life at this time. At this time, they will either be quiet or they will just kind of see what the next thing you're going to say is. Please remember, quiet is not something bad. Sometimes quiet is awe. Sometimes quiet is a way to see, now wait a minute, how is he picking that up? So the next thing that I would do is I would ask them to say their name 3 times again. After I have asked them to say their name 3 times, I would then do a 10-card spread. That 10-card spread will tell them what's going on in their life, what they can look forward to in their present pattern of actions, what has been upsetting them in the past, what it looks like they can expect in the future. And then I go into what I call what their fears are, what's really going on, what their hopes and expectations are, and the conclusion. Now, all of this should go in a circle around the common denominator, or where everything crosses, where all the lines cross, the nucleus of the reading. It is so important when you are talking to people and telling people what you see, that you practice what I call spiritual diplomacy. You would never go to a political table with a bunch of different politicians or people from other countries and just start splatting out your ideas. A diplomat or using diplomacy is somebody that knows how to say the hard things in soft ways that people can comprehend without their egos being wounded, or in a way that not skirts around and avoids the point, but just knowing how to say things in a way that people can relate to. Okay, I will kind of show you what I mean. Let's say, and I'm going to just do a 3-card reading to show you what I mean about being spiritually diplomatic. Let's say somebody asked me a question about how do people feel about me at my career? So I'm just shuffling and I'm looking at this time, I'm doing a 3-card reading to tell you what I would tell them in a diplomatic way. I would tell this person, and the first card that I get shows somebody in a prison. And I would say that it looks to me like the company that you are working for has kind of an anal way of typecasting their employees. And from the minute that they hired you, they kind of felt like whatever they were training you in had a certain boundary as to what they would let you expand into. And they find that you are fitting into that niche pretty good. They see that you do not try to go out of those boundary lines. However, the next card is the Death card, and it's upside down. So right side up, death would mean transformation, perhaps a raise or promotion, expanding your horizons. But because this reading showed the Death card upside down, I would say it looks as if you have found yourself in a rut at your job, and people are not going out of their way to show you a lot of gratitude. They like you. You have fulfilled their expectations because remember, they never thought that they were going to concentrate on expanding your horizons at this job. They also find that you are a great team player. And for this reading, I show somebody in a happy home or somebody that is in a home or career in which they are getting along well. So that would say to me, diplomatically, spiritually, I would say to that person, it looks like you have met their expectations quite well. They never promised or even considered that they would promote you to a managerial job or something like that. And they feel as if you are comfortable in the rut that you are in, which they don't see as a rut. They see you as fitting in, going with the flow, and that you're a great team player. So, how is this different than if I told them what I saw in a just a undiplomatic way? I could say, well, these guys never thought that you were much of anything that they would consider to be a manager. And as far as I'm looking at, you're taking it for granted. And I don't see that perhaps you even have the skills for going into a managerial job. But a lot of people like you, and maybe you should just settle for that. Now, one way might piss a person off. Another person says the hard things in soft ways. Because you're saying things in hard ways, you always have to end a reading with hope. You always do. Because people want to know what the other side of the coin is. So you've given your psychic reading, you've projected what you see, you've been diplomatic about what you see, saying hard things in soft ways, and now you're going to end the reading with hope. How would you say that the diplomatic way would be it if I looked at, is there a raise or promotion for you point blank, and looking at that, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about what I would see. The answer is, and this is the card of fantasy, dreams turned into reality, manifesting. I would say it all starts with what you want. The future is yours. What is it you want? If this job where you're at is giving you what you need, then by all means stay with it. People love you. But on the other hand, if you want more, and you are increasingly waking up with a desire for a promotion or to have your hard work appreciated, you're going to have to either wake people up by speaking about what your plans are, or maybe you need to consider going to another job where I believe that your wonderful experience, your team player skills will be on a recommendation from your company, and I believe that you will achieve the dreams that you want. But begin by telling people exactly what you want and expect. Don't settle for less. I think you'll have what you want. So that's the hope, okay? That's the hope. It's not far-fetched. It's just telling people by showing there is always, always, always a possibility for more. And in whatever way that reading is, you have now given them the truth of what you see. You've said hard things in soft ways, and you've left them with hope. End of reading. Was it healing? Was it powerful? Well, I think the better you get at it, yes, the answer will be yes. You'll always have a few people that are cantankerous and are hard to work with. For those people, it's very hard to please. But for the most part, I believe that you will find that with accuracy added to diplomacy, added to hope, and stay away from those negative things that, I know some people really dwell on fear and negativity in their own life. Try not to read when you're in a bad mood. You don't want to push that on your clients. And that's what I see about that. Okay? So I do want to say to Rose, who says, Happy Halloween, Anne-Marie. Joseph is not with us today, but can you please help me with insight into my relationship with JL, a friend that comes in and out of my life? There is a strong connection, but he disappears quite a bit. What's going on? Okay, if it's all right with you, I would like to add on to this reading that I give you, what I call from my Oracle deck. And I just love this deck. This deck is, you can find it at Amazon, and it's illustrated by names that I can't pronounce, but it's mystical shaman cards, very good for Halloween today. So at the end of the reading I give you today, Rose, I will also give you the life path of where you are going. So if I look at the name that you have given me, which is JL, I'm going to look at, first of all, how JL feels about you. So when I do that, what comes through, Rose, says the first thing I get on JL is that he's one of those guys that's very good at handing the hard work to his partner. So I would say that when it comes to being real ambitious, he either doesn't know what it is he wants, or he hasn't thought about it, or he's always just needed a strong, gutsy woman that could be able to take the slack that he's not willing to take. It shows that he's kind of stuck in a funk. The reading shows at this time the Death card, which means transformation, but it's upside down, which indicates stagnation. So when I look at the insight of why, as a friend, he comes in and out of your life, I believe he comes to you, Rose, because you are so magnificently strong. I also believe that when he's lost and he's stagnant, he needs you incredibly. One of the things that also comes up, Rose, is it shows him surrounded by a comfortable home or career. I don't know if what he's afraid of is that if he gets too close, that your expectations will be that he goes the next level. And have to face responsibility and commitment is suddenly take the opposite pathway of what he started out with. So this says to me that probably the reason that JL does this is, first of all, he thinks you're incredibly strong and powerful. Whenever he feels lost, whenever he feels stagnant, he needs his Rose. He needs her strength in his life, as a friend or as more. But then he gets scared, because if he allows himself to get too close, will all of those wonderful qualities of close friendship leave? Will he suddenly get stuck in a relationship dynamic in which the friendship is gone? Or is it just that he has commitment phobia? It could be any one of those. Whatever it is, Rose, whenever he gets scared, his way of dealing with fear is to take a different path. Consequently, you have a possible option here. You can consider just staying friends, or you can decide that what you want is to stop doing that good friend thing and let him miss you for a while, Rose. Don't be so available. Don't be that good buddy that's at the end of the path for him when he's lost. You know, relationships need to give back 50-50. And if he's not doing that, Rose, then what you need to do is not be so accessible. Why is he doing it? Because he has commitment phobia. What is it that he wants from you? Your strength, your empowering personality, your healing on him. What is the common denominator? Your caring, loving strength. And what is your best course of action? To not be there for him, to give him a chance to miss you, to not be that strength that's at the end of the path. If you want more, Rose, you're going to have to make him step up to the plate. And so my feeling is that that's what's going on. If I look at your oracle card and what comes through on that, Rose, and please know that this is about your life path in relationships, as well as maybe friends or just where you are in the next coming 12 months. So I'm going to say your name, Rose. I'm going to say it again, Rose. And I'm going to say it one more time, Rose. And this comes up as your path for 2019. Well, don't be taken off guard. This is the card of the serpent. The serpent says to me, girl, you need to take your bitch pill. Sometimes when you are that kind spirit, always on the road, it's easy to be taken advantage of. The serpent is somebody that knows how to spit poison and fire when it needs to protect itself. Now, I am sure that there is a much deeper explanation on this, and I'm going to read it. But in my estimation, this is the same as saying, don't be a schmuck. Take your bitch pill. Allow yourself to sometimes be the serpent. Sometimes show your other side that isn't always of kindness. The essence of the serpent, it says, is the force of Mother Earth. The coiled serpent brings passion, healing, and renewal into your life path this year, Rose. She offers you the fruit of the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. Serpent comes to offer you the forbidden fruit that will set your passion and creativity free in 2019. When you shed your past gracefully, life will not strip it away with great drama. Indeed, that's something you want to avoid, Rose. Do not use your energies to seduce others or to allow yourself to be seduced, even by your own ideas. What does that mean? I think what it's just saying is what we saw, just like with your JL. He came to you for your strength, your Mother Earth emotional breastfeeding. He came to you to be nurtured. But it's time to nurture you, to set your creativity and passion on fire. Don't settle for less by just being the healer. Allow yourself to heal your own life this year and be tempted to do things that are new and exciting, but don't fall into the pattern of using your strength and your empowering personality to draw to you things that only make you feel ripped off when people don't give back their 50%. And that's what I see, Rose, and I thank you for stopping by. I see Jan in our room, and I will get to you, Jan. Thank you so much, Rose, for that. Um, I wanted to go into a walk in the woods. Is the woods haunted? You know, I love the woods. This is the month of Scorpio, and I'm a Scorpio, and the moon was in Scorpio. And it just to be in the woods in autumn just sets my heart and soul on fire. I feel very, very powerful in the woods. And but is the woods haunted? Of course, the woods is haunted. You know why? Because every inch of the earth has had history in it that goes further and further and further in time than we even can have memory of. It goes back to prehistoric time. And with all history comes residual energy. And residual energy are ghosts of the past. Sometimes you can be sitting in your house, and I swear you can hear voices, muffled voices that talk. And those are voices of the past, residual energy from people that may have lived in that house, or maybe yourself, or maybe from an old marriage. And just like that, the earth is filled with light and energy and death and birth and all of the residual past history that it has gone through. And there can be no history without leaving energy. And that is what the woods holds. You may find that when you take a walk in the woods, some pathways call you and some pathways don't. Take the path that calls to you. You know, I love a book called Teachings of Don Juan, and it is the teaching of the shaman way. And one of the things it says is that the reason we are always attracted to the same chair in our house, or the same log outside, or the same spot we walk at in our backyard is because of energy. Energy that complements us, whether it be a chair, whether it be a path, whether it be a place in the yard you sit at or walk in to find peace. It holds energy that is complementary to your own. And that's why you always go back to that place. So when you find a pathway or a spot or a camping place in the woods, or you want to set up your tent, set it up where the energy calls to you. That's historical energy, residual energy that is complementary to your own. Listen to your intuition. And how do you know if you're listening to your intuition? Because when you get a feeling of excitement and anticipation in a happy way, that is the answer, yes. And when you get the energy of tiredness or drain, that is no. Don't go there, don't do that. So that's what you should do when you're in the woods, the haunted woods, the beautiful haunted woods filled with residual energy. It says forests are often calming and they can be strikingly beautiful places with rivers and waterfalls and trees and mountains. But there's many wild places and spaces that are dangerous. And they can have features that endanger even experienced hikers. Others have been places where battlefields have happened, or burial grounds, and the sites of various crimes where the memories of the past tend to linger. Others still are the scene of unexplained phenomena, from unidentified flying objects to apparitions and monstrous creatures. So, understand that there are certain places in the world where there are haunted forests. There are 7 leading haunted forests, one in Romania. I cannot say these names, so I'll do the best I can. It says Hoia Baki Forest. It's in Romania. And the other one is the Prembry Woods in Wales. There's another one, the forest in Japan. I cannot pronounce this, but it's where people go to commit suicide often. There's the Epping Forest in England. All of these are forests where, and Freetown State Forest in the United States, which is located in southeastern Massachusetts, which falls within the Bridgewater Triangle. The Screaming Woods in England, and the Pine Barrens in the United States, which is in New Jersey. All of these places are where there is residual energy connected to the past that is not good. So you, whether if you're a paranormal person, you love the inspirational awe of going into haunted woods, go there. But in the blog today, if you want to check out the haunted woods of the haunted forests and woodlands, 7 of them are seen in the blog. You can go there. As for your own camping trips, just listen to your heart and listen to your intuition. It will not lead you astray. Go where you feel the excitement and calm. That other stuff, the residual places that feel negative, don't go there. That could have bad stuff that's not in it just doesn't coincide with you, and that's not a good place for you. All right, so we have an unknown caller in Ohio. Hello, unknown caller in Ohio. Who are you, and what's your first name?
Hi, it's Kevin.
Hey, what's going on today?
Yeah, I was just a little damp here, but I was just curious to see if it had like just like a quick little general reading, nothing specifically, but say like
Absolutely.
I did have a dream about my father.
Oh.
Because I did have a dream about my father yesterday morning. That was kind of strange. Yeah, because it ended with him telling me I'm going to be your witness along with somebody else.
Would you like a message
I thought that was
reading?
kind of strange.
Would you like a message reading from your father?
Sure.
Okay. Unlike many psychics who waste a lot of time by being with people and trying to guess a name, I'm going to ask you to just give me the name of your father.
Roger.
Thank you. And again.
Roger.
And again. Thank you.
Roger.
Thanks. The first thing that comes up about your father, it says, for whatever reason, I'm showing him extremely sad. It says he feels deeply upset about something that happened, either when he was in your life, or he feels that something that he regrets is not leaving him. Your dad says that he is extremely proud of your ability to rise above the crap that may get in your way. And he feels that that's something that he wished that he would have used more often. Your dad says that he is around the energies of a woman. She is seen as harmoniously next to him. She doesn't seem to be old. She actually seems to be more, I'm going to say upper 30s, maybe even, or it can be somebody that has grown young again with him through the afterlife. But there is a feeling that this same person, he wants you to know he regrets was not strong enough. And she was somebody, I don't know if it was a mother or a sister, but she was extremely vulnerable. She was extremely weak. And she feels as if she wasn't able to handle the things that came to her in life. And whether that influenced your life or not, he wants you to know, and I don't know why, that there is, and I hardly ever get this kind of thing in a reading. It says he wants you to know that there may be money coming towards you, that there may be some kind of financial situation or money from another source that is coming into your life. And he wants you to know that you are going to be so happy about this. It's going to be a gift from him to you, something that he feels you deserve. He also wants you to know that through your feeling of pride and happiness with this substantial amount of money coming into your life, not only does he feel that he is doing everything he can to make it happen for you, he also feels that it is his retribution for a sadness that he did not come through for you in the past in a way that he had wanted to. It shows that he wants you to know that when you think about him, and especially in that dream, that you were communicating with him. He wants you to know that he also apologizes again. I don't know why I'm getting so many apologies and this sadness that he was not always there for you in a way that he feels proud of. Your father feels that at times the one thing that he fears for you, and please understand, I say the word fear only in that he feels that somewhere along the way you gave up on something that broke his heart or that broke your own heart. And he feels that for whatever reason, as much as he feels a sadness that he wasn't always there for you in the way he would have liked to, or set the example that he wished that he would have, he feels that you've given up on something that really makes him sad and fears, and I don't know why, but it says all of this can come to healing and resolution when he sees that this large amount of money is coming your way. It's either money or it's a property or it's something material that will be coming into your hands. And he wants you to know that when it does come to you, it's his way of saying, I give you this. I know it was I helped this to happen. And I want you to forgive me for the times that I was not either there for you like I should have been or always a good example for you. And why this woman comes in, I don't know whether she's a mother or a sister, but there's a sense that he feels that she was not always there for you, or she was always in a weakened state that somehow, and I don't know what that's about. I can't tell you. It's just that he's concerned that he wants you to have good memories of him, and he wants you to know that he is with a woman who is healed now and happy. And he wants you to know that to expect this large material amount of money or a possession. And the time frame for that to happen is seen in 10. And I can't tell you whether that's going to be 10 weeks or whether it's going to be 10 months. but it says sometime between 10 weeks, now in 10 weeks, or possibly 10 months, you will be elated that this is happening. And that's all I can tell you from here. Okay?
Yeah, because that seems to be quite spot on too. Because we never, when I was a kid, because he crossed over beginning of '03, so it's been over 15 years, and we never got along, and it was a lot to do with because he wasn't around a lot. Because he was either working or he was off with his golf league or he was off playing cards or just
He's deeply sad about that. He feels a great sadness that happened.
Yeah, because I remember when my sisters and I were kids in the early 70s, there was like a 3-year stretch. He was working for a large bank here in the area, and he was like a computer programmer back when the main computers were mainframes against the wall, and they used the punch cards. And he would work like 80 to 100 hours a week.
Wow.
And my sisters and I at the time were probably like, I'm the oldest of the three. I was about 6, and my younger sister was like 3. And then for like the next 3 years after that, we never saw him. And then once we got older, he was either off doing, like I said, his golf or his poker or his bowling or whatever. So we didn't see him a whole lot. So that in its own right makes a lot of sense. And
what did he say to his mother? What?
Right. I was going to say his mother. It sounds like his mother could be his mother too, because his mother was rather acerbic when she was alive. She was rather sharp-tongued, and it could have been just the way she was raised. Because I never knew like my grandparents' parents, but the stories I heard about them were stories where they were kind of strange. So not like they were criminals or anything, but yeah, they were very, very negative people. Maybe even to the point of being slightly ill.
Is your mother alive?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ever have a sister?
2 sisters.
Okay. And has one of those sisters gone through some kind of extremely imbalanced life? Has she gone through some trauma that you know of?
Probably the biggest thing with the older of the 2, when she was in college, she was with this guy for 6.5 years. They were living together. Lived here in Ohio, moved to New Jersey for a while, got married. Then 1.5 years later, they got divorced. And so I'm sure that was probably pretty traumatic in its own right. Because the family she married into was, let's just say they had some issues. So, because they were not, they were rather strange people. So.
Well, whatever is going on, it shows him around a woman now that is much healed from, but also a sense of this woman from the past. So maybe it is his mother that she has somehow transformed and become more balanced now from her old self. Or it could also be speaking that he needs you to pay attention to a sister that's going through extreme bad times and that he seems concerned about her. Whatever it is, it's pay attention to any messages that may be coming through on your sister. It seems that there may be something about to happen.
Yeah, I can see that because plus her current husband, he's had some health issues lately, and he's 10 years older than she is. So, he's in his early 60s right now. So it's you never know. Well, at any age, you never know what could happen. But being in the early 60s, so.
Elderly
so
is not
could
60.
Possibly be it. yeah, especially I just hit 53 myself, so.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not exactly a kid myself anymore, but.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I would say I'm going to end this reading real quickly with your life path for 2019. Is that okay?
Sure.
Say your first name.
Russ, or Casey. This is my middle name. So.
And say it again.
Russ or Casey, my middle name again. So.
You don't have to say all that. Just say Russ. And one more time.
Russ.
Okay. So Russ, in the spiritual sense, this year it says for you, you walk the path of the blade. And to me, the blade sounds an awful lot like the swords in many ways, which says this is an action year for you. And it says the blade represents sharpness of the mind, body, and spirit. Pointing upward, it summons the power of heaven, and when aimed down to the ground, it anchors the power of the heavens on earth. You are invited to draw your blade and use it. It is not auspicious to hesitate, to waste time in idle talk, or to hide from the inevitable. It says heaven and earth are aligned to support you in claiming your power this year. So take decisive action on this, whatever comes to you, especially concerning, it seems, this financial or material possession that may be coming to you. Overcome your fear of hurting others. Unsheathe the blade and use it wisely. It's time to put down the sword and place it back in its scabbard. Do not offer your blade in service to toxic emotions. You will be faced with an even more powerful future with the people. Some are disagreeable that are coming, possibly with your sister, and you are don't attempt to banish what's going to happen. Put the blade to rest until your inner fire has mellowed. So what that says to me, basically like the swords in tarot, which represent extreme hate as well as love. Watch your impulsive side. Remember, your impulsive side was also the side of your father. So do not use that impulsive side that your father may be warning you is something he does not want to see you do. He needs you to embrace the lessons that you're learning in this life, and also from the disagreeable things that happen to him towards you that he apologizes for, and to prepare that this year, watch your temper. Don't take action in impulsive ways. Think about things in a cerebral way. Intense things are going to happen this year for you, Russ, in 2019. So be prepared and put your blade aside until you're absolutely ready that you need to use it, but don't be afraid to speak out. Okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Anne Marie.
You're welcome, Russ. Take care. Bye. All right. Thanks so much. And we have Jan from LA. She wants a job, reading on her new job for advancement, and the initials are CAND-C. Okay. If I look at what is coming up for you in your new job at CAND-C, and looking at that, here's what I see for your new job. The first thing that comes up is material increase. Shows you juggling finances in a balanced and secure way. I'm also showing you as the Hermit, which indicates that you may find that it's important not to get too close to people that you would talk about private things that you don't want passed around. It can also indicate, is this a job that you do from your home? Is this a job? If it's not, then is this a job where you have an office to yourself? Or could it just be that you need to remember not to get too personal with people? This is a job that's going to offer you to learn something new. It's showing the Page of Swords, which indicates that a new creative beginning will be happening for you in this job. And so most of all, if I look at a real quick life path reading for you on this, and looking at that, Jan, and what comes through says, this job for you is thunder. Thunder. This is the card of thunder. So if we look at what thunder means, and that would say to me, it's got to be pretty powerful. It's got to be something that makes a noise and does not allow you to crawl under a rock and be invisible. Thunder is loud. It speaks out. So thunder represents that this is the year. Says sometimes you may feel like it appears that you are running out of time. You worry you won't get what you need to want. Everything gets stuck like jam. This is only in your mind. Time expands and contracts according to your ability to be mindful and observant. Thunder invites you to live in the now, not in your thoughts of your age or of your restrictions. It's time to release your need to know, and the details of the future will fall into place like thunder. All right, that's what you have, Jan. Okay, and we have 2 minutes left, and we have Susan. Susan, your reading says, she says, my job ends the middle of November. What do you see for work coming my way and my financial situation? If I look at that, what comes through, Susan says, well, honey, I don't see long for a new job coming. Not at all. And it says, learn your lesson from this job. One of the lessons it says is that you have to prepare your life more. You have to prepare yourself for the obstacles that happen. I think that, and again, it's not ending until the middle of November, but it says lesson learned. You've learned a lot of things from this job. You are going to love what's coming next for you. The Lovers comes up, which indicates that that's not necessarily speaking about being dependent on a partner as much as realizing that you don't have a darn thing to worry about. I see good things happening for you, and within, I'm going to say 6 weeks after you've left your job, I see that you have another job that will be able to inspire you and make you happy. And so finances, they're going to be a little tight, but in the long run, prepare for about 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks, where you really have to watch your money. Hopefully you prepared for this before you leave this job. Okay, that's what I see. Bye-bye.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.